What is up? Happy Monday, everybody. Man, I tell you what, Ken and I were talking before the show today. Something about Mondays now. It's not till like noon that I feel like I catch up to what's going on. And I get up so damn early. I don't know what it is. It's funny, last week, off on that Monday, still felt the same way. Still felt weird on Monday up until midday. And then Tuesday was great. I don't know. I do not know. Just a bunch of craziness. So much stuff to get to today, and we're going to try to talk about as much as we possibly can, including, and I was showing Belle this, these two girls took an adventure. Am I right, Belle?
Well, they were sent on an adventure.
Yeah, it was a funny adventure, but it's an adventure, oddly enough, that is happening more and more every week. And it happens between a few countries. But this was something that was documented that was hilarious. We're going to talk about that because we can't just be all doom and gloom all day. We can't be. I saw, Ken, that Trump has to pay $83 million to E. Jean Carroll. So.
Yep. That apparently some court says that. I don't think the Supreme Court is saying that yet. Has it made it to the Supreme Court yet?
I don't know. Civil cases get to the Supreme Court much?
Oh, yeah, that's a good
like
point.
This kind. I mean, I'm sure they do in some cases, but I don't know about this. He could just do a meme coin. Hold a fundraiser. I was showing Ken. Nobody believed me. He was his people were sending out fundraiser emails last week, trying to get into heaven for $15 a pop. I'm not lying.
So you give $15.
I guess that helps him get into heaven. You know what I was saying? The mortality thing is hitting him. That, he's more in the fourth quarter or overtime than he is in the, beginning of the second half.
Time's running out.
Yeah. And that's nature. I mean, we all think that. I mean, when you're 25, you're not thinking about 50. When,
No, man.
No, when you're 50, you're going, I wish I was 25. But, you start to think about life. But, you get to the point, he's been through the assassination, then the other attempt, the fact that you're trying to build a legacy, your president got all this stuff going on. Yeah, it's and obviously I think, too, he's obviously got some health problems that's probably a little more serious than people are saying. But, yeah, I mean, he's thinking about it. And that's everybody does. Name a person who doesn't think about it. You can't. You can't, especially when your life's going good. Not now. Things are good. My kids are making billions off meme coins or crypto or whatever. We're doing well. So it's that was just a weird email. I was like, $15 to go to heaven? I got to give you $15 to go to heaven? How does that work? So I don't know how that is. Yes, I know E. Jean Carroll wasn't all there.
Well, it'd be for a family of four. We'll give you a $5 discount. It'll only be $35.
35. Oh, you're giving some off too. And by the way, you guys, this isn't something I made up before you go and attack me. This was an email that went out from one of his organizations. It was a 24-hour fundraiser blitz, and it was literally asking for donations to help him because he has been talking about heaven a lot. I don't know if I'm going to get into heaven. I don't know if I've been a good guy. I know about a lot of that stuff. And I'm like, what? What? Like, that's an odd thing to bring because he's talked about it. It's an odd thing. But do I understand when you get a certain age about that? Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
I think all of us feel that way. I mean, when don't you think, like you get to a certain age and, do I think about it all the time? No, but I do think about it once in a great while. I look over and, you see your kids and you think, okay, I hope I get to see them, have grandkids. I hope I get to see them, somewhat grow up, that kind of thing. Because especially for me, I had my kids later in life.
Yep.
Belle, have you thought about who's going to get your cats? Or are they just going to eat your body?
No, honestly, I know it's going to sound stupid, but yeah, if I had a heart attack in my sleep, I constantly think about I should set up somebody to take care of them for me if I were to just suddenly not be here.
Yeah.
You said you have like a trust fund for them?
Yeah, right. I've got a trust fund.
That's the way to go, dude, is a heart attack in your sleep. That is the way to go. If you're going to go, that's the way to go.
Much later in life, though.
Yes.
I mean,
Like
much
Ozzy.
later. Yeah, yeah, you're in your 80s, right? You lived a good life. But it's you do think about it. You do. I mean, I'm not sending out an email about it. How much would you ask for, Ken?
What, in order to get somebody into heaven?
Yeah, or to get yourself. Like, what would be your goal? Like, if you're going to send an email to raise money for your trip to heaven.
Well, I mean, I could do what Oral Roberts did
Oh, God.
back in Tulsa.
Yeah, that was a smooth move.
I'm trying to remember how much money he was actually able to raise.
Oh, that's right, because he said if he didn't get it, he was going to be...
Yeah,
Satan,
God would take him home.
Yeah, well, Satan, he apparently had been wrestling, literally, with Satan in the prayer tower.
Whoa.
There at Oral Roberts campus there in Tulsa.
Yeah, but come on, Ken. Wrestling's fake.
Well, unless it's shirtless. Now, wrestling Satan shirtless, that you could really get burned then.
Oh, yeah.
But, so Oral Roberts pulled something like that.
I forgot about him wrestling the...
He was wrestling Satan.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. Well, if he would have known, he could have come hung out with Charlie Daniels and said, dude, don't wrestle him. Play him in a...
That's right. Challenge him to a fiddle contest.
Yeah, see how that works out for you, huh?
Boy, let me tell you what.
Somebody says, I have my dog in my will with money to care for. That's cool. I would imagine the Cobra will take the care of the cats.
Yeah, the Cobra will take care of the cats, Brother Bilal.
Yeah.
No, I've already got it set up for the Cobra to go to the Nashville Zoo.
Oh, well.
Really? That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's thinking ahead.
That is...
Yeah, you can't leave a deadly venomous animal by itself. and
No, don't
expect
do
it to
that.
be
That's
okay.
not a good thing. That's not a good thing.
I'm going to leave Fritz my air-conditionless Hyundai Elantra.
South Koreans in there?
Yeah.
Have you taught him how to drive it yet?
He likes looking out the window while he drives.
That's a good thing. All right? That's a beautiful thing about dogs looking out the window.
Stick their heads out the window.
It's the greatest thing of whatever that is, right? But when you were a kid, how many of us rode in the back of somebody's truck and we'd peek out over?
Oh, yeah.
We'd stand up. Like, you go back, and I was watching this person the other day talk about, so let me get this right. Back in your day, in the 80s and 70s, the way that you picked a babysitter was proximity to your house and usually 12 to 15. Here is $5 for pizza, and here is your poison control. We'll be back at 3 a.m. I said, yeah, that's the way you did it. It's the same way you did it with cars. Like, we get in cars back in the day. We would, in the station wagon, we look out the back of the window. Nobody's in a seatbelt. We didn't even know what a seatbelt was.
No.
We're in the back of a car on the freeway.
Seatbelt was the thing that you wrapped around your groceries so they wouldn't go flying forward.
Yeah, and that's it. And we're in the back of a truck on a freeway.
Yeah.
Think about that. You could, the jail that you would go to now if you did that to a kid would be huge.
Yeah, you couldn't do that today.
No, they would shoot you on the spot.
And then when you got into jail, they beat you up for child abuse.
Mike A said Jacob wrestled God. Did Jacob ask for $50 million? Now, when you're wrestling God, you got to ask for more than that.
Well, now, Jacob wrestled an angel, didn't he?
Yeah, but he wrestled God. It was his thing.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? He didn't ask for any money because he didn't have a great place to do a sermon. That's why.
Yeah.
You need a big campus to do a sermon.
Well, you need a prayer tower.
Yeah. Oh, prayer tower. Did you ever see the prayer tower?
Yeah, you can see it all the time. You can see it driving by.
Were you invited to the prayer tower?
Oh, no.
See, that's just it.
I never got invited to the prayer tower. Well, I didn't want to see Satan.
Well, I didn't know. Was that what you keeping him like he's a Ghostbuster?
Well, I mean, according to Oral Roberts, Satan was in that tower wrestling him. That's where Satan was.
Oh, goodness me. That is crazy. That is so... I remember when he was asking for money. At least some of them try to pretend like stuff. We're going to talk about that later because there was a guy that was arrested Friday. The amount of money he took is tremendous. The things that he tried to make people do, and they did. I'm always fascinated by that. I'm fascinated by people that get sucked in so much. And you know what? We talk about the Kool-Aid, and as horrible as the Kool-Aid was, Jim Jones was like not the first, but he went the whole kit and caboodle, where they're just stealing from these people. And I'm fascinated by how you could believe a human being so much as to give him or her so much of your life. Who was the other guy? Tilton. Remember him?
Robert Tilton.
Robert Tilton. Woo!
Yeah, man. He one time I saw him pour out a bag of what he said were prayer letters.
Yes.
And he took his coat off and he just flung himself on top of the letters and started wallowing around and I guess speaking in tongues or whatever, because he couldn't go it one by one. It was an emergency situation. He needed to do something right now for the whole lot.
Yeah.
So he just was writhing in the prayer letters.
Oh, he was extra. He put it on extra crazy, that guy.
Yes, sir.
And I got into this because there's a guy on Sean Ryan this past weekend talking about all of these churches that have taken how much money, how much at times billions of dollars, how many of them are, and the things that they have, right? Where you're like, wait, you have a housing complex and you have oil wells, and those are all under the veil of the church. And from Robert Tilton being one, I remember people talking about Tilton back in the day, and I'm just fascinated by that mentality of how people get sucked into. It's as bad as a cult. The difference is, cult, you're stuck in the cult if you're in the cult day to day. For a lot of these people, they go to work and they work all day for the cult at a regular job and give them their money, which is just fascinating to me. It is. A lot of stuff to get to today. I watched some of the Titans game. I got to be honest. I think Cam Ward looked pretty good.
I think Cam Ward, I agree. I think he's good. They still got to fix a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you got to protect him, though.
You got to protect him, man. We recovered a punt in scoring range and then just had 3 straight sacks.
You got to give him something. There's only so much you can do, and he's trying to do too much. It reminded me of when I was in Arizona when they got Kyler Murray with the first pick, and he changes your franchise because he's so good.
Yep.
The problem is, though, he also plugs certain holes that need to be fixed, and it's temporary, and because it looks like, oh, maybe we're better than we thought you are. You got to fix a lot of that stuff, though. There's no doubt. But we'll talk a bit about that, a bunch of other stuff to get to today on this beautiful day. Obviously, the horrors of what took place in Charlotte and the stabbings. You heard Chris and I talk about that. Talk a bit about that. Some immigration stuff, among other things. You're missing the show. We always say shame on you. Happy Monday. It's the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'll tell you this about Chicago. Pritzker's running for president. He isn't getting a call from Illinois. And by the way, if you guys want to know what the Pritzker family is like, if you want to look at 10 families that may have damaged America more than anybody else, the Pritzkers are on there. And the kind of money that the family itself has, it's the kind that, Trump wishes he and his family had. They're 50, 60 billion, something like that. I mean, JB's not even close to the top of the Pritzkers, and he's worth 3.5, I think.
Man.
I know. Good God. That's some good money right there. The Sacklers. You can go look at these families that are taking advantage of America over and over and over and over again. 3.5. That's good money if you can get it. We didn't win the Powerball this weekend.
No.
Did you guys?
I bought 3 tickets.
Yeah.
I bought 3 tickets, and, when I was had some time to kill, so I just stopped at these various places and bought a ticket. So
Missouri, somebody in Missouri won it. But
somebody in Texas, too.
Texas, the hill country, like right next to the Kerr County where the whole massive flood was. Mm-hmm. It's right, somebody, Fredericksburg, right there won it. Which is, it's probably not a lot of people there.
It's got to suck, though. You're thinking you're going to win $2 billion and you have to share it with somebody else.
I think, from what I understand, if I'm correct, I think they walk with $248 million.
That's not enough.
How am I supposed to live on that?
That's a great question. Now, Bell, you can walk with more, kind of, if you're willing to go 30 years. Are you willing to plan it out 30 years?
See, what you just asked me is, am I willing to trust that government will still be around to pay that bill in 30 years? No.
Well, who's it? Is it the sweepstakes people? Who are those? The ones who used to come to your house and offer you?
Publishing house.
Did they go? They went bankrupt last week.
Oh, they did?
So those people that get like $5,000 a week for the rest of their life and stuff, they're going, are we going to get our money anymore?
Publishers clearing.
Yeah, I think they were the ones who went. One of those ones BK'd it. So, you want to get your money early just in case.
I remember they'd show up at people's houses and they'd give them a balloon, too.
Yes, that's right. They open the door and you're like, are you so-and-so? They're like, I am so-and-so.
Actually, now that I think about it, the annuity might be the smarter way to go because if government collapses, more than likely that means the economy has collapsed and your money's not worth anything anyway.
Wow, people are already saying they're not getting their lifetime $5,000 winnings as they were told they were going to get. They declared bankruptcy in April. 10 of the past winners who have been receiving their annual or their weekly paychecks have not receiving their checks anymore. So Wiley, this guy named Wiley, he won $260,000 a year for life in 2012. Said the money allowed him to retire early, move closer to family. Now, he said things are looking bleak. So
I got to go back to work because I didn't save any of it.
I didn't save any of it. I thought it was, it said it was coming forever. So kids, if this isn't a sign to not take that other money, plus here's the other thing. You get the money, you got to make sure, could you pass it on to your family? Well, if not, what if something happens to you? You go a couple years, you get a few bucks, something happens to you, you get kidnapped by aliens, next thing you know, they say you're dead, and boom, that money's gone.
What if you offer the aliens $5,000?
They don't use the same money we do.
Oh, that's right.
How do you know that?
Yeah, how do you know that,
Yeah.
Bilal?
Because they're probably smart enough to not use the dollar since it's only backed by government.
$5,000 a month for life. A week. That'd be good.
Oh, yes.
That'd be nice.
$20,000 a month is nice. How am I supposed to live on that?
That's a good question, Bell. Though, what you and your cats, I don't know what you guys are
And
eating
my
over
cobra.
Cats and a cobra.
there. So cats and a cobra. Well, you know what it would allow you to do, Bell? To live out your dream, whichever that is.
The bunker in the woods?
I don't know if you'd be able to build a bunker in the woods.
Probably not.
Not for $260 a year.
Let's get you a tiny house.
Because, the bunker I have designed in my head is probably about a $35 million bunker.
What the hell is wrong with you, dude?
What?
Man, that's a...
Wow. The look on his face, too, that if he would have just won $5,000 a week for life, it's just like, yeah, I don't know.
What am I supposed to do with this?
What am I going to do with this crap? Right? My 800 FICO score doesn't help me here, does it?
807?
807. He showed it to me there. He goes, check this out. Highest it's ever been. I'm like, settle down, braggadocious. Good God. Braggadocious. You know who you are. Some sad news. We'll talk a bit about that chaos in Charlotte. I think it was awful. It's one of those things, though, is crazy. Why is crazy anywhere near human beings? It's why? How have we failed? And you look back at Reagan, even some of Carter, we should have done this a long time ago. We need to fix this mess when it comes to crazy being on the streets and allowed around people. This has to stop. We'll talk about that, among other things, a bunch of other good stuff to get to, including these two ladies, young ladies, took a trip. Not to where they thought they were going. They went to a whole different continent. I don't think that's where they thought they were going. We'll talk about that as well. If you're into the show, shame, grab the podcast. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. We'll have Jody on tomorrow, right? 2?
Yeah, 2 p.m.
Find out why he hates mayonnaise.
I think that's honestly the interview just needs to hell with his re-election campaign or his election campaign. We need to find out why he doesn't like mayonnaise.
I don't want to find out why he's a communist. That's pretty much a commie thing to do.
If he doesn't show up in jeans, I'm not bringing him up.
No. If he shows up in any of those silly outfits that those people wear, well, they all look like they're going to JCPenney to get their picture taken. Go out for a pass.
Those days.
Go out for a pass. I got it, Mom. Oh, my Lord. By the way, speaking of being somewhere, Ken and I, Joan and Chris, we're out this Friday. Dig in for Bobcat Thursdays. Friday, September 12th. Bobcat of Nashville. I got to do it myself. The regional stores. So we're going to be there. Chris and I broadcasting live. Ken Weaver and Joan Jones joining in the celebration. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. It's appreciation time. So are you ready for this? Industry pros Enjoy barbecue lunch. Nice. Exclusive parts specials. 25% off rentals, equipment demos, skill competition, which we're going to win, and a chance to win a WB 7000 mower. So come out if you want to learn more. 997WTN.com/events. We'll be out there. You're going to be in where, 11?
I'm going to be at the Bobcat of Wilson County in Lebanon, Tennessee.
Woo! Wait.
Oh, I can't wait to go.
I have no idea where I'm going to be, but I'm going to be in a Bobcat coming towards you, kids. So be prepared. It's going to be a lot of fun. This whole thing in North Carolina is a nightmare. And I'm sure you saw it, Ken. A lot of people talking about it.
I have not seen it, but
Don't.
I heard it. And
Don't.
I do not want to watch it. No, sir.
That is a smart thing. Don't. It's a horrible thing. So you got a woman who, by the way, escaped Ukraine. She bounced, right? She got over here. She got out of that nightmare. Comes over here. And working at a pizza shop, gets stabbed by a wackadoo. By the way, a wackadoo of epic proportions. The guy's been in and out of prison most of his life. His mother had to get an order of protection because of how unstable he's been.
Brown was arrested after stepping off the train and faces first-degree murder charges. He has more than a dozen convictions dating back to 2014. His own mother says this tragedy could have been prevented. She says after he served 5 years in prison for armed robbery, Brown began to behave strangely. She says she got an involuntary commitment order and he was placed under psychiatric monitoring, diagnosed with schizophrenia. But she says he got so aggressive, she had to kick him out of her house.
They had a hearing, and the judge is like, we'll bring you back. We don't have the number one psychiatric hospitals across the nation are prisons, are jails. We have to do better. And if you haven't seen it, again, don't see it. What I was amazed with, and I was telling, Drew this, and I told Chris this, nobody seemed to do anything. People were in their phones, listening to music or whatever they're listening to, head down. Nobody's paying attention. Some people probably saw something and were too scared, okay? I guess. But a lot of people, they didn't even look up. If you're in a place and somebody's getting stabbed, you may peek up to see what's going on. Some of these people had no idea. They were such zombies. They had no idea what was happening. None. And this girl stood no chance. So, seemed to be compared to her, he was a giant dude. And so she gets on the train. She sits down. She sits on what would be, two chairs on each side, kind of like an airplane, smaller one. She sits on the right. He's behind her on the left, takes out a knife, stands up.
Goodness.
Several stabs. She's dead. Then, Ken, nobody does anything. He wanders around for a couple minutes, and in total, I think he's 7 minutes on the train waiting to get off. He's bleeding. Nobody confronts him. Nobody asks what the hell happened. Nobody does anything. And it takes a couple minutes before people even recognize what's going on with the girl. That's what shocked me the most, is we're so into whatever it is that we're doing, because not everybody saw what happened. Because not everybody's facing the same direction. So, and you probably couldn't have done anything even if you would have seen it, because how fast it was. And it was fast. It was a kind of, you've seen like prison shows, how fast they can, that's what it's really like. It's horrific. And is this guy a criminal? Yes. Is he mentally deranged? When mom is calling the cops and getting a protection order, they know. Like, mom knows when things aren't right.
Yeah.
I mean, they know. And it's sad. But now it's become a big deal, as it would be, and as it should be. And everybody's like, well, look, the guy's a career criminal, but on top of that, he's mentally. So you toss in the fact that he has been arrested 14 times, and then you toss in the fact that drugs probably played a role because he was standing, dude. He's sitting there, Ken, and he looks just like something is in his soul or mind. He's grappling with something. And you think, this girl did nothing to him. She never even noticed him.
Yeah.
And then that was it. And she bled out. There was nothing they could do.
Terrible.
And why nobody else jumped up to do anything again, even when they saw it happening, okay, it was probably too quick. Because the people that seemed to come and help were from the other side of the train. But he walked around with blood dripping everywhere. Like he was a vampire. And then he was taken into custody. Oh, and by the way, he shouldn't have been on the train at all. No ticket, no way. Shouldn't be on the train. Welcome to light rail. That's what we have to look forward to here? I hope not. So, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays, because there's no doubt in my mind the guy has serious issues. He's been in front of a judge on numerous occasions for serious mental health problems. So is he even all there? You know? I don't know. It's horrible. It's horrible. And this is, we've got issues here. And a lot of the issues we have in this country is crime is an issue. Not like it used to be. But doesn't mean it's not an issue. But mental illness is through the roof. And I wonder what the hell's going on. Is it drugs that cause the mental illness or mental illness that cause the drugs? Either way, it's a horrible thing. It is. And if you have a chance, don't see it. Turn it down. I'm telling you guys right now, turn it down. Enough of sadness. It's time to move on to something a little less vile and disgusting. Ken, you probably didn't see this. I shared it with Belle. They were going to Nice. Okay? They're getting on an airplane, Ken, and they're going to Nice.
Okay.
To Nice. Not Tunis, Tunisia. They're trying to go to Tunis in France.
Oh.
Wait, where's Tunisia? We were supposed to go to Nice. We told the guy Nice. Nice. We told them Nice.
Yes, later. After this flight.
It's going to go to Nice?
You change the plane later in Tunis.
We're going to have to go change it in Tunis. Okay, we'll just stay. We'll just go to Tunis. We're just going to go. We'll just stay.
They had no choice, because once they got on the plane, it backed away and they realized something wasn't right. They had no choice because their luggage was underneath. They're working to back the plane up. And so they were stuck on there. They flew. They spent 24 hours there. And there is, much like Australia and Austria, which happens way more, it's more common than you think.
Interesting.
They have a place set up in the airport in Tunis that when you arrive, it says, basically, have you screwed up? Thought you were in France? You're not. You're in North Africa. You probably don't want to be here. So I saw them a little while ago. They were on their way home, laughing, said, what an adventure. They're on their way to Nice now. And that's a flight, too. But they were coming from Rome, I think, and it was lost in translation. They were like, they don't really understand what we're saying. And you should.
Interesting.
Oh, my God. Have you ever left and gotten so lost that you ended up somewhere else, like a different country?
No, that's never happened.
No.
I would not ever want that to happen. I would not do well in another country, especially if it was not the country I was headed to.
You wouldn't?
I don't know anything about I've never been outside of this country. If that happened to me, I'd probably trip out.
Oh, man. Where are we, man? That would be funny.
Fly me back.
You'd be surprised. Because they were laughing, and a lot of the other people were too. Some of the people on the other side, they were not happy because they didn't have visas, right? Because you got to remember, they're going to parts of like North Africa that aren't the safest areas, and they want to have what are we going to do with these girls? We can't just turn them loose on the streets for the night.
Yeah. Winding up in North Africa instead of France is a big difference.
It is. It's a huge difference. Not much, though, with the way France is anymore.
Well, yeah.
Oh, Chad. Hey, speaking of Africa, did you see where they're thinking about sending Kilmar Abrego?
Oh, someplace new, right?
Yeah, it used to be Swaziland. Now it's like Iwatiza or something. I've never even heard of it.
Yes, I saw
used to be
that.
Swazi. It's the kingdom of like Iwatiza. He's on his way there. Good news is, though, it's like 90% Christian.
Well, there you go.
There you go. They don't have a lot going on there. You should be all right. You get a couple bucks in your pocket. You may be king. They don't know. So congratulations to you, my friend. They want him out of here as soon as possible. I still think you should try him. Don't you?
I don't know, man.
I still think you got to try that guy. I mean, if you really here's the thing. I think the fear is that maybe it's not all they thought it was going to be. And so it's just easier to get rid of him just in case they don't hold up well in trial and don't get the people that they think are going to testify against him. Then it's he said, she said, he said, and it doesn't look good for the administration. So it's just easier to send him to Eat Sweeta or wherever the hell they're going to send him.
It's Sweeto.
Whatever it's called. Oh, my Lord. Coming up. Oh, we got some other stuff. I'll talk a little bit more about some of you guys are texting in about the lack of action in that attack on the train. And it was horrible. Bunch of asshats did nothing. I mean, come on, guys. Talk a little bit about that. Also, the baseball thing. I'm sure Chris talked a bit about the baseball kerfuffle. If you guys didn't hear about the Philadelphia Phillies, Karen took a foul ball from a man. And that you know what? He got scared.
He was such a...
He was.
He should have... I would have looked at her and went, go sit down, lady.
Yeah.
And if you put your hand on me...
I would have been, sir, you need to sit down. Oh, sorry, ma'am.
Sorry, ma'am.
We'll talk about that straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 987.
Jury selection begins today in the trial of the man accused of trying to assassinate President Trump when he was then candidate Trump. We'll tell you about that at 1 on Super Talk 997 WTN.
That guy's a nut.
Yeah, and he's...
He tried to challenge Trump to a golf game, right? Said he beat Trump in a game of golf. I don't know what did he get? If he did. He's going for the wackadoo.
His freedom?
Yeah, that isn't happening. That guy's...
That's a fair wager. If I beat you in a round of golf, I get off the hook for trying to kill you.
Oh, it's like a duel. Wants to have a duel. He's a whack. He's not normal. He's not there. And of course, they're going to find out like what Ukraine role had in it. What if he had? Again, these people. Some people are out there. I don't think people realize. There are some people out there who believe some stuff. They go down a hole that is crazy. And you don't always need to think that there are other things at play in certain situations. Sometimes people just get there on their own. And this guy, though, man, he is super fun.
He's, as you would say, a wackadoo.
He is a wackadoo. I think it's the best way to... Could you say that? Is that politically correct?
Probably not.
Probably not. You're nuts. Doesn't go all the way to the top. All right? How's that? Right? The elevator, just stops. There's a reservation. You've gone off it, sir. We can go on all day. Crazy, nutty, loony, wackadoo.
Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. All of that. You're all of the things. He's defending himself, too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to get to question jurors.
What happens if he wants to testify?
Your Honor, I've got to confer with my counsel. He takes out his hand. Hey, do you think don't do it. Don't do it. No, don't.
Oh, my gosh.
He should bring a puppet. Oh,
that's what I was getting. Immediately, I'll go back to that movie with Mel Gibson, directed by Jodie Foster, called The Beaver.
That's right.
Or South Park when Cartman had the Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Hand.
I like tacos and burritos. But could you believe that if he defends himself and brings a puppet?
Oh, that
would be awesome. And every day the puppet has a new suit on and his hair's all coiffed.
And is successful in delaying the trial.
He gets commercials run.
Puppet's name is Mr. Hat.
This would be awesome.
Mr.
Coming up,
Hyatt.
we're having so much fun. That's what we do on a Monday. A lot of other stuff to get to next hour. Talk a little bit about immigration and crime, among other things. You missed the show, share when you grab the podcast. Hour number 2 of the Chad Benson Show, straight ahead.